Hi, welcome back to CJC Facebook Live at Art Basel 2018. I'm Ambrose, and I'm now joined by Karen, who's going to tell us about this very interesting work behind us. Hi, Karen.
Hi. So what we have behind us is by a Filipino husband and wife duo called Isabel and Alfredo Quilizan. The work here is called Left Wing Project, Balok Kiri Jalan Terus, and it's an immense installation consisting of 7 knives, wings, and sound. It's a kinetic sculpture.
Cool. And could you tell us a bit about the inspiration? Where do you think their inspiration came from?
Well, this work actually first started in 2015 when the artists were doing a project in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. So they were invited to spend some time in the country, and as they were going around in the city, they realized this phrase, Balok Kiri Jalan Terus, was sort of appearing a lot around the city. And after sort of asking people, what is that about? They realized that the term was actually tied to a community of blacksmiths and craftsmen from Jogja, and it was it had a lot of connotations from the 1960s socialist movement in Indonesia. So they went and actually found this group of craftsmen and decided to sort of talk to them, about their experiences and what was happening in their lives.
Cool. Shall we take a walk?
Yeah, sure.
So here, could you talk us through the materials used and why the motifs involved in this project?
Well, first of all, the wings are composed of hundreds of sickles. They're real knives made locally in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. They're all welded together painfully and very slowly. And that's
very interesting. And they're a very small sort of craftsman community, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and from what I know, also this work is also on the realities these agrarian societies are facing. And what I find interesting is that this work actually involves quite a lot of other aspects of an agrarian society, right? Could you tell us what's in these sort of beanbag type of thing?
Yeah, sure. So these are actually rice sacks. So everything here is made from Indonesia and things that you can only find from Indonesia. So the weighing scales, for instance, above, they're very unique pieces that you don't really find anywhere else in the world. These sacks here, they're filled with actual rice, so there's rice in them from Jogja, Indonesia as well. So the artists themselves, involved a lot of people who are from this agrarian community, not just blacksmiths alone, but everyone who is in that whole network and community of people. The farmers who use these tools, to the products themselves.
And one of the interesting things is that there's such a small sort of craftsman community, but they're currently sort of pushed out of business recently or in recent years. Why is that the case?
Well, in the last few years, with sort of the boom in the Chinese industrialization, and sort of they have taken over essentially the produce of any materials and products in the world. So these communities in Jogja themselves are facing increasingly, finding themselves losing their livelihoods, things that they've learned for generations from their fathers, their grandfathers, and then all of a sudden, you see them in the last 2 years losing their jobs and not knowing what to do because blacksmiths and being farmers, it's all they know. So what the artists wanted to look at was to sort of explore that experience, that dislocation that has happened to these communities in Jogja.
I think particularly apt as sort of there is a huge trade war probably about to kick off between US and China. Could you tell us, one final question, could you tell us about this, the title, it's called Left Wing Project, and how this idea is important to the work and artists?
Well, if you look at all the wings, they depict only the left wing itself, and that ties again back to the Indonesian phrase where it says, turn left and go straight. So there's that sort of like subtle hint at what the work and sort of that community of people is about.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So that's one of the highlights at Art Basel so far. Stay tuned and for more highlights. Thank you.